When life tears pages out of your story, don't close the book. Pick up the pen, because the moment you decide to rise, the whole world shifts. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you, and today you rewrite everything they thought you'd never overcome. There comes a moment in every person's life when they pause, look around, and realize that the life they are living is not the life they dreamed of. It is not the life they promised themselves. It is not the story they once believed they would write. And in that moment, when the truth knocks on the door of your heart, you feel something shift inside you. A quiet voice whispers, "This cannot be the end. This cannot be all there is. This cannot be the whole story." And that whisper, that tiny spark of restlessness, is where your rising begins. You see, life is not gentle with anyone. It does not ask before it breaks you. It does not check if you are ready before it tests you. It does not wait for your permission before it takes something you love. And yet, even in the middle of those storms, there is a part of you that refuses to disappear. A part that keeps breathing, keeps believing, keeps fighting, even when your heart is exhausted. That part of you, your resilience, is where your power lies. Most people think their story is written by fate, by luck, by other people, or by the things they could not control. But that is not true. Your story is written by your choices, by the decision to rise after falling, by the courage to stand when everything around you is collapsing, by the refusal to stay broken when life gives you every reason to give up. You are not the victim of your story. You are the author, and it does not matter how many painful chapters lie behind you. What matters is whether you are willing to write the next chapter with hope instead of fear, with courage instead of doubt, and with strength instead of sorrow. You may not be able to change the beginning of your story, but you can absolutely change the rest of it. You can rewrite your life at any moment you choose. I know you have chapters you don't talk about. Everyone does. The silent nights where tears felt louder than words. The mornings where you forced yourself to get up because you had no choice. The moments when you smiled for the world but collapsed inside. The memories that still hurt even after years. Those chapters carry weight, but they also carry wisdom. They carry the lessons that shaped you, the strength you didn't know you were building, and the courage you didn't realize you were practicing. You don't have to erase those chapters. You just have to refuse to let them define the rest of your life. Life will always test you. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will overwhelm you, but the real battle is never outside. The real battle is always inside, between the part of you that wants to give up and the part of you that wants to rise, between the voice that says you can't and the voice that whispers try again, between the fear that tries to hold you hostage and the hope that tries to set you free. Your story changes the moment you decide to stop breaking yourself with your own doubts, the moment you refuse to believe the lies that pain planted in your heart, the moment you look at yourself and say, "I deserve better than the life I've been tolerating." That is the moment your rising begins. Not when things become easy, not when the wounds disappear, not when people finally understand you. Your rising begins when you choose yourself. When you stop apologizing for wanting more, when you stop shrinking so others feel comfortable, and when you stop allowing your past to dictate your future. Healing is messy. It is not a straight line. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel broken, some days you take a step forward, some days you slip back into old habits, old fears, old wounds, and that is okay. You are not failing, you are healing. Growth is not supposed to feel graceful. Transformation is not supposed to be comfortable. If it feels hard, that means you are changing. If it feels heavy, that means you are letting go. And if it feels painful, that means you are breaking free from the life that hurt you. Do not punish yourself for being human. You are allowed to struggle. You are allowed to feel lost. You are allowed to express your emotions. But even in those moments, remember that you are still becoming, you are still rising, you are still writing your story. There will come a time when you finally realize that not everyone who started with you is meant to finish with you. Some people were lessons, not lifetimes. Some people were meant to break you so you could learn your worth. Some people were meant to leave so you could learn how to stand alone. And some people were meant to hurt you so you could learn how to love yourself. Letting go is hard, but holding on to what breaks you is harder. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve relationships where your soul can breathe. And if that means letting go of people you once loved, then let that be part of your rising. You are not responsible for fixing everyone. You are responsible for saving yourself. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Everything you lost was preparing you. Everything that broke you was shaping you. Everything that delayed you was protecting you. You are not unlucky. You are evolving. You are not stuck. You are transitioning. You are not forgotten. You are being aligned with something far greater than you imagine. Your strength is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not always visible. Your strength is in the quiet moments, when you wake up after a night of crying and still go on with your day, when you choose kindness even though the world was cruel, when you choose faith even though the future scares you, when you choose to keep moving even when your heart feels heavy. That is strength, and you have been showing that strength every single day, even when you didn't realize it. You are not broken. You are healing. You are not weak. You are tired, and that is different. You are not lost. You are rediscovering yourself. You are not behind. You are building the foundation of a life you truly deserve. You are not failing. You are becoming someone powerful, someone wiser, braver, and stronger than you've ever been. And all of this, every tear, every scar, every heartbreak will one day make sense when you look back and say, "This is where I rose. This is where I began rewriting my story. This is where I remembered who I am." You have survived too much to stay on the ground now. You have endured too many storms to stop before the sunrise. The life you want is possible. The future you dream of is real. The strength you need is inside you, and the pen of your story is in your hands. This is your moment. This is your awakening. This is the beginning of the chapter where everything starts to change. There comes a day when you finally understand that rising is not a one-time decision. It is something you choose again and again. Every single morning. You rise when your heart is tired. You rise when your mind is overwhelmed. You rise when life feels heavy and unfair. You rise even when no one notices, no one applauds, no one understands. Because rising is not for them. Rising is for you. It is for the person you are becoming. It is for the life you are creating. It is for the future that is waiting for you with open arms. And that future is real. It is not a fantasy. It is not a dream too far away. It is not something reserved for others. It belongs to you too, but you cannot reach that future by staying where you are. You cannot walk into tomorrow while holding on to yesterday. You cannot build a new life with the same fears that once destroyed you. You rise by choosing differently, by thinking differently, by believing differently, by acting differently, by refusing to let your past become your prison. There is a version of you that you have not met yet, a version who is stronger than the pain you carry, wiser than the mistakes you made, and braver than the fears that try to stop you. That version of you exists in the future, waiting for the moment when you finally say, "I am ready to grow. I am ready to heal. I am ready to rewrite my story." When you make that decision, the universe aligns things you never expected. Opportunities appear, people show up, doors open, paths become clear. The moment you decide to rise, life responds, but rising does not mean pretending. You don't need to hide your scars. You don't need to act like everything is fine. You don't need to be strong all the time. Real strength is not about never falling. Real strength is about standing up after the fall. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit that you are hurting. Sometimes courage is found in vulnerability. Sometimes power is found in softness. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to break. You are allowed to crumble. What matters is that you do not stay there forever. You carry wounds that others cannot see. You carry battles that others cannot understand. You carry fears you don't talk about, but you are not alone. Every human heart is fighting something, and the moment you stop judging yourself for being hurt is the moment your healing begins. You do not need to apologize for being human. You do not need to be ashamed of your pain. Your pain is the reason your compassion is so deep. Your struggles are the reason your heart is so kind. Your heartbreaks are the reason your soul is so gentle. You are becoming a masterpiece carved by experience, shaped by storms, polished by survival, and you are still standing. Maybe life pushed you to your knees. Maybe people walked away when you needed them most. Maybe you lost things you thought you could never live without. Maybe you questioned your worth. Maybe you doubted your purpose. Maybe you broke into pieces you didn't know how to gather. But look at you now. You are still here. You are breathing, hurting, healing, learning, evolving, rising. The fact that you survived is proof that you are stronger than the world expected. The fact that you endured is proof that your story is not finished yet. There is a moment in your journey when everything you've been through starts to make sense. When you realize that the people who left created space for better people to enter. When you understand that the closed doors redirected you to the right ones. When you see that the heartbreak led you back to yourself. When you discover that the pain taught you lessons comfort never could. When you realize that losing things you loved made room for things you truly deserved. Not every loss is a tragedy. Some losses are blessings in disguise. One day you will look back and say, if I had not gone through that, I would not be who I am today. And you will say it with gratitude, not pain. Because everything you suffered shaped the strength that now lives inside you. It's time to stop punishing yourself for the chapters you outgrew. It's time to forgive yourself for the things you did when you were hurting. It's time to release the weight you were never meant to carry. It's time to reclaim your voice, your power, your identity. You are not the same person you were when those painful moments happened. You have grown. You have evolved. You have transformed. Let the past be a place of reference, not residence. Do not be afraid to dream again. Do not be afraid to love again. Do not be afraid to trust again. Not everything and everyone is meant to hurt you. The world may have shown you darkness, but it will also show you light. You just need to open your heart again, not for others, but for yourself. You deserve joy. You deserve peace. You deserve opportunities. You deserve love. You deserve healing. You deserve the kind of life you once wished for but never believed was possible. Your story is not defined by the chapters that broke you. Your story is defined by the chapters where you rise. And rising is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes rising is quiet. Sometimes rising is simply choosing to try again. Sometimes rising is simply choosing to believe that better is possible. Sometimes rising is waking up and deciding that you will not let yesterday's pain steal today's hope. There will be people who doubt your journey, people who don't understand your growth, people who want you to remain who you used to be, but you are not rising for them. You are rising for yourself. The ones who belong in your story will support your evolution. The ones who don't will fall away naturally. Not everyone deserves access to your new chapter. Protect your peace, protect your heart, protect your growth, protect your dreams, and remember this: you are never too old, too broken, too late, or too lost to reinvent yourself. You can start over at any point. You can rebuild from scratch. You can rise from the ashes of a life that once hurt you. You can step into a future brighter than anything you have experienced. You can write a story that makes people wonder how you survived. But survival is not your identity. Rising is. Your new story begins the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you. No hero is coming. You are the hero. You are the fighter. You are the healer. You are the survivor. You are the one who carries the pen. The world tried to write your story for you, but you are taking it back now, page by page, choice by choice, breath by breath. And as you move forward, remind yourself that progress is progress, no matter how small. You don't need to make giant leaps. You just need to take one step at a time, one act of courage, one moment of faith, one decision to keep going. Eventually, those small steps will take you to places you never imagined. The life you dream of is not far away, it is built by the steps you take today. This is your moment, a new chapter, a new chance, a new beginning. You are not who you used to be. You are stronger, wiser, bolder, braver. The wounds may still be healing, but healing is progress. The fears may still whisper, but you do not have to listen. The past may still try to pull you back, but you are no longer staying there. You are rising. You are rewriting your story, and someday soon you will look back at this moment and say, "This is where everything changed. This is where I took back my power. This is where I decided to live, not just survive. This is where I became the author of the life I truly deserved." And when that day comes, you will be grateful you chose to stand up again. Grateful you chose to fight for yourself. Grateful you chose to rise. Grateful you chose to rewrite your story, because your story is not over. Your story is just beginning.